Hello everyone, Bonsai here, and this time we drew personified color. So yeah, the challenge is to pick a color, any color, and personify it. Pretty simple, right? Then let's begin. Among all colors in the world, who would think that someone would choose yellow as a color they personify?
Now, let me explain myself, would ya? Think about it. What comes into mind whenever you see the color yellow?
Well, seeing that we often identify yellow as the color of the sun, I guess energy, optimistic, jolly, I don't know, cruel and deceitful.
Whoa, how'd you get deceitful from this jolly go fun color?
The sun is covered with ozone layer, so technically it's hiding its intent to kill us all.
Right. For this drawing challenge, we were limited to only one color and some values. The monochromatic color that we choose to use in the values for average light and average darkness. In my example, yellow, black, and white.
So technically you're doing a monochromatic painting.
Well, it's not really a monochromatic painting. It's more like trying to explain what the color is in nature. So if yellow was a person wearing a regular clothes, what would it be? I went ahead to start with the background of the color. I chose an alleyway to describe the boundaries of my color. And I tried giving my color the personalities of the sun. The sun, despite being the most vibrant, most powerful orb, it is limited to a certain dimensions, unable to move freely. It is the source of energy, so we can associate it with anything that is optimistic or something that preps us to move forward when there is no hope. When we expose ourselves to the sun, it gives us vitamin D, it decreases blood pressure, and so much more. But then again, when you're overexposed to the sunlight, the UV rays can give you a third-degree sunburn, damage the eyes, cause cancer. Heck, it takes away whatever it gives you.
Okay, I get it now. Despite the power of the sun, it is also limited to its power, and also, despite its benefit, it can cause some negative effects. So where are you going with this?
What I'm trying to say is, if I really want to personify yellow, then I'm gonna have to show the negative side and positive side, and they both have to show up in both negative aspect and the negative aspect. Just as we have here, the background will represent the limitations of the power, giving it a very vibrant look that is appealing to the eye. After that, I will draw in a character that represents the states of the color. So yellow being jolly and optimistic, but also trapped in its boundaries and happiness. It's a bit connected to some part of my personality, as I can be very optimistic and very jolly around the people I know the most. I act so crazy, people sometimes even think I have ADHD or I'm too impulsive. But when I move to a different environment that is out of my circumstances, I retract my behavior. That's the way I am.
Wow, that's interesting. What was going through your mind when you were painting this scene? Seeing that you only had yellow, black, and white.
To be honest, I had no idea how I was going to go about this. I took this as a merely experiment to practice color, and what I found was doing monochromatic drawing was way easier for me to do than mixing different colors to create a color harmony. If we were to measure my level of painting, I'd say I'm still at the very basic, which is learning how to draw and shape. I sometimes take things for granted and skip the basics, but for now, we will leave the color harmony to the ones who already know color and color theory. My approach in going about this is by creating like doing a pencil shading. Since everything is of the same color, the only thing that differentiates something will be the color shadow and the halftones. I broke the yellow into values of average light through average dark and started to define and refine the shapes. I know it would have been more lively if I was to add different colors that are closer to yellow in the color wheel, but I could only work with what I had. Also, I know the reason why color theories and traditional theories cannot tell whether green or yellow is the natural color.
Really? Tell me about it.
So this is what I've seen. As you can see, yellow is very close to the green. In fact, when you look at the spectrum, yellow is very few, but then gets dominated by green. And the more you mix yellow with black, the closer you get to green. So although they say that green cannot be created, when you mix yellow with black, you can get green to some extent.
Bruh, that's bull.
Hi everyone, and this is my version of the personifying color challenge. For this challenge, we had to choose a color and draw what that color would look or feel like as a human being. So I chose the color purple, and I feel like purple is a constricting color, or it can be a constricting color. When I think of purple, I think of smoke or fog. So I made a smoky looking character. I wanted to make this character look villainous in nature, so I started with giving the character a pose with both hands raised up, like they're laughing hysterically. Her eyes aren't kind looking, her eyebrows are arched in a way that makes her look angry. She has a bit of a fang, she just looks like a villainous character. I wanted her clothes to embody a smoky kind of element. What I used instead as a reference was an image of food coloring being poured into a clear glass of water. And in that image you can see the food coloring spreading out with the water, and the little lines and the strings of color looked really appealing to me, so I wanted to incorporate that into my piece. To her outfit, I added chains and other bondage elements because I felt like that color purple that I used was constraining. I felt like they added to her villainous nature. Overall, I like how this piece came out. It was fun to do. And that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and add in any suggestions for what you think the next challenge should be. If you like what you saw, subscribe so that you'll be updated for when we put our next episode up. See you guys next time. Bye!